Okay, welcome to the second half of Flohr versus Pitschak, played in Berlin, 1930. The opening is ECO code A47, and I've played through move 14 for both sides. Oh, I'm sorry, I played through move 15 for white. I'm sorry, I actually played the bishop to b2. And the theme of this lecture is actually how to attack an opponent's pawn shield given pieces. And we've reached the critical position. And now this is black's 15th move. Black plays bishop to d6, threatening mate on h2. So if you look at it, black has two pieces bearing down on the king position. This knight can easily jump in. This knight is in the vicinity, it can jump in, and we have the queen. Not looking good for white, because there isn't really too many good defenders. So, like I said before, the philosophy is to make white move a pawn, giving you a target to attack. And now, how's white to defend this threat, this mate threat? Something has to happen. Well, let's look at a couple moves. I've already mentioned in the last video that playing a knight to f3 is not advisable. Now if white moves a knight to f3, then this is the continuation. Knight takes knight, knight takes knight, bishop takes knight, pawn takes, and then we have mate. So that doesn't work. Let's try f4. Oops. Then what we'll get is probably black could always play the knight move to here, but what looks really threatening is playing the bishop to c5, threatening a discovered check. White would probably play the king to h1, and now black would play the knight to g4. And it's really hard to stop this, because moving the pawn up does nothing, because black just takes because of the pin on this pawn right here on the g pawn. So that doesn't work. If white plays backed up a little. If the knight comes in and then white plays the knight on e to f3, then we just get knight takes knight, knight takes knight, bishop takes knight, and we have our mate threat, or we're going to win a piece or be checkmated. Looks like be checkmated. So f4 doesn't work. Let's try well, I guess those are the major moves personally. Oh no, there's h3, I'm sorry. This doesn't work due to queen to e5, threatening mate on h2. And now, if you don't know, if you'd say, well, why doesn't white play now f4? It's because there's a possibility of the queen coming to e3, giving check, and this knight is undefended. So white will play g3. Now black just plays the queen to d5, threatening mate on h1, and g2, well, h1 actually, since g2 is protected by this knight. And then white will play f3. Then the queen comes at g5, or it's threatening to take here and threatening this knight here. White has no real good options on h3 either. White's game is just going to fall apart. And all because we got the pawns to move forward. So what white actually tries in the game is g3, now, as we've seen before, this knight jumps into the attack, threatening mate on h2. The only move really is h4, but now the queen takes h4. And if white retakes, if white takes, then black just brings the bishop down and delivers checkmate. So, and then white can hold on a little bit longer, once again, if it tries to move one of the knights to f3, but it just postpones the mate. So that is an example of attacking the pawn shield with pieces.